So we're here at the fourth and final review of the Firewire Sunday by Rob Machado. It's the 6.0 that I'm reviewing, and the last one is going to be a straight single. And before I get into that, let me just mention that you can go to the community section of the my channel homepage, and there you'll find a poll where you can vote on which fin setup you think worked best for me. Okay, I'm certain you have an opinion. I personally have an opinion. However, my opinion also involves the fact that I've kind of felt different things versus, you know, looking at it, just looking. Now, this last video is just going to be about the single. I didn't like it, and I shouldn't say I didn't like the surfboard and how it surfed. I can't surf it, so that's probably the best summary I can give you. I don't know how to surf a single, and I tried. And I tried it on 3 or 4 different occasions, and I filmed 2 days of it, and I couldn't do it. I had moments of greatness, but really it was just too hard. And then I swapped it out for my ends with my stabilizer on the same day, and you'll see the footage. For me, it was night and day.
So now this is the very first wave I caught as a single, and to sum it up, and not to talk too much about, you know, the minute details, just bottom line, it doesn't have the same drive as the other fin setups. The board with the most drive is going to be the keel fin twins, the Machado keels, because they're big. But then you kind of sacrifice certain things. And then the ends with the stabilizer had good drive, just not as much, but you got better performance out of it. So it's a give and take, and as you can see, this board as a straight single just lacked drive. Now, it's important to understand what drive is, and I don't know, I think a lot of people kind of misuse it, and maybe I'm misusing it. So let me define it and what I think. So right here, I'm getting good speed, but I don't consider that drive. So drive is the manufactured speed that you get using the bottom of your board and the fins. That's what I think it is. So you're driving the board. Versus, you know, the single, what I'll say about it is there's very little drag. So it feels super fast. And if the wave's fast, I feel like the board will go super fast. So I think that's another reason why a lot of guys that, you know, ride mid-lengths are saying, hey, ride bigger waves, bigger, better waves down the line, point breaks, that kind of stuff. And all your energy, all the wave energy and the, you know, the speed that you're getting is going to be from the wave. So here, you know, I have decent speed, and I'm keeping up with the wave. And if the wave were steeper and faster, I'd probably be going steeper and faster. But in the slow sections, the flatter sections, I find that it's difficult to drive speed. Now this one here, this is probably where, I don't know what it was, where the board everything felt right about it, and I couldn't get it to repeat again. I don't know if it was where my feet were, how I was surfing it, I have no idea. So it's just much more complicated. The one thing I will mention is that when you're surfing it as a single, I noticed that if I bend at the hip and I use my torso to kind of push the board, I was able to generate more speed from it versus bending at the knees and kicking out my back feet like I would on a normal thruster or quad. The fins would just eat up the speed and the drive, and there was just none to be had. And so here I just kind of got fed up. It was a pretty good day, and I just wasn't having all that much fun, so I gave up. And I traded in for a 2+1, so the ends with a stabilizer. And right away, I felt the difference. So I was even able to make it to the top of that. I didn't pull it, but I was able to make it to the top of that lip. And everything was, you know, when I kick off the bottom like that, it propels me forward, so the board had drive. So I was able to stay in front in the open face, as well as push myself back and forth, and that was better. And I was able to make flatter sections. So right here, I'll push off the bottom, and I was able to project to the top. And I couldn't do that as a single. So again, I didn't like it as a single, but it's not a matter of me not liking it. I think it's just I suck at it. And you know, when you're not having fun, at the end of the day, then it just doesn't work for you. So that's where I was with that. And so as you can see, I mean, I got a really quick snap on that. That was the 2+1. So to each their own. And who knows, maybe the 6/8 will go better as a straight single, because obviously you have more volume and you can utilize more of the speed that the wave gives you. So that could be really fun.
Just in case you don't recall, my very first review, the original review of the Sunday, was using the Naked Viking fin. This is the keel fin. They don't produce this specific one, so I won't mention, but they do have one very similar now called the Marlin, and I would highly recommend the Marlin for the Sunday. Now it comes in 3 different sizes, which is amazing, because if you, and I own actually the futures versions of the Machado fins, but they're all one size. So the great thing about the Marlins, they do come in different sizes, so depending on what size board you get, you can actually, you know, customize your fins to fit the board a little bit better. Because this is 26+ cubic inches, and so that's kind of big, especially if you're going to run by the 5/6, right? So you kind of want a smaller fin. All right. The second fin I believe I used was the single with, and I got a lot of flack for this. I used the cheapest ones I could find, which were these side bites by Ho Stevie. I don't think they were that bad. I mean, yes, they're a little bit flexible. What's funny is they feel stiff until they're in, and then they feel super flexible. So they probably didn't have the hold, as much hold, but I don't think, I could definitely tell the difference having these and just going straight single. Now, one thing I want to mention is when you're running the single, only run it all the way up, okay? If you're gonna run it with side bites, push it all the way back, okay? And then you can run. Otherwise, the overlap is too much. But if you push this thing all the way back, there's very little overlap, so it works pretty good. Okay. The third setup was the Futures EN. Interesting thing about these fins I noticed was that, okay, so if you line it up to the keel fins, they are a little bit deeper. So they sit in the water deeper. I don't know if you can see that, right? So they're more upright, so they're more pivoty, and they don't have as much drive, because obviously you're going to lose this much area. And when you're surfing on the, you know, so imagine this like this, right? And you're surfing on your tail and you're behind the fin, right? When you're behind the fin, it's going to feel a little slippery when you don't have this area. However, with the keel, it feels a little tighter, you have a little bit more drive. Okay. When I ran these, I did run a stabilizer fin, okay? And I don't know if you saw the video or not, but I would recommend go watch it so you can see that I used the FCS adapter. All right. So I think my favorite setup is probably the Naked Vikings. I do like the ENs, but I probably would opt for something a little bit smaller. So I'm on the Naked Viking page right now looking to see what other options I have that's similar to this. Shrink it down a bit and then run an offset stabilizer further back. That's the goal. All right. So anyways, that's it.
So as always, thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, comment below, and don't forget to go to the community section and vote which you thought I surfed better or which worked best for me. All right, guys, till next time.